What's up, guys? It's Well, the Black Pen. Today's video is sponsored by the Mishek Tabudi Foundation. They will be hosting a workshop for NPOs on the 9th of September this year. That's next month. And this is going to be for anyone who is a non-profit organization director, for people that own churches, or for anyone that's just interested to understand how NPOs work. And the lady that will be hosting the workshop is a lady by the name of Sipati Tabudi, who has over 10 years of experience in the NPO space. So for some of you who want to figure out or find out what types of NPOs are out there, how to maybe raise funding for your NPO, how to make sure that you get tax exemption, how to register your NPO, and how to make sure that you're meeting the needs of your community. I think it's fundamentally important that you attend this session. It's going to be in Benoni, in Gauteng, from about 8:30 until 5 o'clock in the afternoon on the 9th of September, and it's going to be 450 Rand for each attendee. I think if you maybe can't afford, maybe see if there's people around you in your community, in your family, that can fundraise so that you can go and attend on their behalf, so that you can set up a great NPO and find out how to raise money from corporates, how to raise money from government, and how to make sure that you become a leader in your community and your organization. I think NPOs are going to be the future of leadership in this country. If you look at groups like AfriForum, if you look at the Gift of the Givers, if you look at Soweto Parliament, these are all NPOs that are being run and that are making a fundamental difference in communities. So the Mishek Tabudi Foundation and the NPO conference and seminar that they are hosting on the 9th of September, I will put a link at the bottom of this video for those of you who will be interested. I had the privilege and the honor yesterday of finally meeting. I think it's been a couple of weeks that we've been planning to meet. I finally met umuntu Mihlali, Leroy Sidambe. Leroy is a businessman in South Africa. I believe he does tenders as well, and he does other business on the side. Great young gent. He's not even 40 years old, but his success has been quite immense. So we've been meaning to meet because there was a video that I made a couple of weeks ago about the relationship between Leroy and Mihlali that had been trending on social media. But when we met yesterday, we didn't speak much about that. We actually just spoke about business. We spoke about family. He's a very proud and happy father as well. And we just spoke about life and politics in general. And I'm hoping that from meeting him yesterday, this is going to be the beginning of building a new relationship with Leroy and maybe with some of Leroy's associates as well. I went to go and see the home that was in social media recently, the one where Leroy and Mihlali were accused of having a traditional wedding. It was not a traditional wedding, it was actually just a Thanksgiving, and asking for a blessing from the ancestors. Leroy himself is quite a spiritual guy, and he believes in cultural practices. But the home that he has built there is absolutely amazing. And I think for any young, ambitious person, you should take that as inspiration, because in part of the chats and the conversations we had yesterday, he was also emphasizing that so many people are no longer real business people. And he was saying, in his opinion, most black people in this country are not business people. They just submit tenders, they just do POs, they just front for other people, but they are not fundamentally manufacturing. They are not fundamentally building anything. And more importantly, they don't understand the business aspect from building a business, upskilling people and creating employment. I stand to be corrected, but I think Leroy employs over 3,000 or over 4,000 people. That is nothing to laugh at. That's nothing to sniff your nose at. It's something quite commendable. And I'm thankful to him. I'm thankful to other people like him who are creating jobs for South Africans, who are looking to see how we can understand business better, how we can do business better as South Africans, especially as Black South Africans. And I guess on his side, just to get his story out of who he is as a person and the struggles and the successes that he's got in his journey as well. In meeting Leroy, I got to meet Mihlali as well. So beautiful, such a beautiful lady, as you guys know, of course. I got to meet Mihlali as well, and I told her that, huge fan of her work. Obviously, a lot of our girlfriends admire Mihlali, and, I just told her that it was an honor to actually meet her, and I was like, hey, you're the reason that our boy Leroy is seeing flames, and she just laughed, and she was like, no, man, we just care about each other. And I'm sorry about everything that's happened. So that was pretty cool as well. In having the chat yesterday and then in applying my mind afterwards, I remembered an episode of Black Mirror. For those of you who have Netflix, there's a series called Black Mirror. And I think the name of the episode is Hated by the Nation. I stand to be corrected, but I think it's Hated by the Nation. But it's an episode about mechanized bees. Anyone who has studied nature, anyone who understands how the world works, there's a theory that the whole world functions because of bees and because we need bees so badly. Bees, because they move pollen around, are the ones that ensure that the ecosystem of flowers and plants and trees continues. And if ever bees were wiped out and became extinct, apparently nature would die. We wouldn't have plants, we wouldn't have trees, we wouldn't have food. I don't know how true this theory is, but that is a known and accepted theory and fact in the world. So in this episode, it is a point in the future of the world where bees have gone extinct and the people that run the world have created these mechanized bees. So it's like mini drones that are the size of bees that have the ability to build their own hives and then travel around picking pollen from plants and making sure that they pass it on to other plants, because plants have to, like, I'm not sure of the terminology, man, but it's almost like a form of having sex. Plants need each other so that they can combine and blossom and bloom and sprout. I don't know these lacquer terms, but it's something along those lines. So they create these mechanized bees in that show so that they can keep humanity alive and the world alive. Someone decides to hack the bees. And what they do after they've hacked these bees, because these bees are... Yo, my phone battery is low. Let me get a charger quick. Don't die on me, boy. Don't die on me, boy. I hope it stays alive until I'm done. It's going to be really sad if I lose this footage. So someone hacks these bees because these bees are connected to the internet, to the Wi-Fi, etc. And in connecting to these bees, they have a social media platform, I guess something like a Twitter. And on that platform, every time someone bashes someone else, a form of cancel culture, hashtag cancel whoever, these bees then go and they attack that person and they kill that person. In the episode, the big story there is how dangerous cancel culture is, how dangerous social media is, and how we need to be more sensitive in how we treat people in the world out there. Because every time you put hashtag cancel whoever must die, these bees go and they kill that person because they plugged into this network and they're trying to make the world a better place. And if a mass of people believes that someone is bad for the world, these bees go and kill that person. At the end of the episode, the person who has hacked these bees puts like a mass death program, which basically says anyone who was involved in these hashtags, who was part of the bashing, the canceling, the bees must then go and kill them. So the bigger lesson there is, number one, be very careful in who you cancel and how it affects their livelihoods and how you actually kill them. But more importantly, the fact that you yourself are part of what's wrong with this world, and there will come a time when karma will come back and kill you. If you look at, for example, the way DJ Fresh has been cancelled, Euphonic, Usjava, there's this recent story about the rape or the rape case of Lerato Molloy and Tall Esmo and other such people. If you look at that, there's a lot of people on social media. I believe her. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Yes, they must fire him. And recently, of course, there was this petition by Musa Kaula where he was trying to get brands to pull back from doing deals with Mihlali. You, in effect, kill a person's ability to make money and to feed themselves. And if someone were to actually pull up a file, like let's say a future employer pulls up a file of every single time you went and you bashed and you destroyed someone's career, that means you are a career killer. And there's a chance that maybe your own career needs to be killed. I don't know Musa Khawula personally. He sent me a DM before on Twitter, especially when I was defending Usol Penduga when he had joined Kaya FM, trying to explain that all of us are just trying to make it in life. So when an opportunity comes by, we take it. Not because we're selling out, but because that's just life. And because Usol was still going to be working with Umekji on Podcast and Chill, it didn't make sense why there was a huge hype. So Musa reached out to me via Twitter, DM, saying, thank you for coming on the space. Looking forward to having you more in future spaces. And I was like, no, thank you very much, Musa. But in the same breath, Musa has become very reckless in some of the gossip that he posts. He may not really care. It might just be gossip, it's rumors, it's things that are out there. But it is actually fundamentally affecting people's lives. There's a story now of Lerato Kganyago having a miscarriage because of some of this cyberbullying and trolling that had been initiated by Musa Khawula. And that's very, very sad for people like myself. I'm part of some of these things. I'm not innocent myself. I've been part of the people that bash people on social media. I've been part of trending topics. I've posted certain content that has maybe upset people. But I'm just trying to highlight that we need to be more responsible in how we use the internet. And we need to try and be sensitive about how it affects other people. There are real people committing suicide because of cyberbullying. And not only because someone said something bad to them, but because someone says something bad and then a whole other 5,000, 20,000 people jump on the same bandwagon and laugh and bash that person as well. It's like a mob, like the mobs in communities. You're like, but I just slapped him, but I just punched him. And you're like, but your slap and your punch combined with everything else that everyone else did is what killed this person. So you are as much a killer as everyone else and as the people that initiated this mob justice. It's very dangerous and it's something to think about. It's just something I wanted to share with you guys. I actually just wanted to tell you that I met Leroy and that he's a really cool guy. Very, very intelligent, hyper intelligent, very caring. And yeah, I got to meet Mihlali as well, which is pretty cool. Really hot chick, influencer, of course. And like I said, we were speaking mostly business, politics, and family. But like I said, as I left, after meeting Leroy, after meeting Mihlali, and then after thinking of some of the gossip work that Musa Khawula does on social media, and just the dangers of that. For those of you who have Netflix, please go check out that episode. I think it's called Hated by the Nation. Blackmirror on Netflix. And for all of us, I think where we can, let's all just try and do better. We can all make the world a better place. Yes, it won't be heaven. And yes, it doesn't mean we must protect evil people or dodgy people or corrupt people or thieves. But it just means we just need to take a step back and just be a bit more considerate of how we conduct ourselves on social media. Penuel the Black Pen. Lethiwe Sithole's album Ubuhle comes out on the 26th of August. And for those of you who are interested in attending the NPO workshop by the Mishek Tabudi Foundation, I'm going to drop a link on the bottom so you guys can check it out. 450 Rand on the 9th of September in Benoni in Gauteng. Have a great Saturday. I look forward to engaging with you guys again soon. Cheers.